Terrace. It is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, and this is our podcast, Cowboy Coffee with Coaches, podcast created to promote and recognize our student athletes, focusing on high school varsity teams, their coaches and mentors. This is our 10th episode, and we're kind of developing and trying new things. One of them being we are in Coach John Straight's classroom at Meeker High School filming this. We had just done an interview with Meeker football coach Shane Phelan, and we will piece that together. Here our studio technician Rich Klinsman will do that when he goes back into the studio. And last night we interviewed volleyball coach Greg Cravens in the gym during his practice. So kind of doing some new things, doing a little offshoot. My fellow host here, Tiffany Jahorik, was in center. She tried to live stream, or she did live stream.
I did live stream.
She did live stream the football game. I went to the state cross country meet in Colorado Springs and did a couple live flash-ins on our website, Cowboy Coffee with Coaches. Please check it out and like it if you would, please. But anyway, so we're doing some different things, trying some new things. We've got some new equipment. Tiffany got a new camera, a new setup, a rig to do that. So we're kind of growing and trying to make all these things
Don't say new camera. My husband might kill me if he thinks that I bought one.
Oh, she didn't get a new camera. No new camera. It's on the wish list, so we've got a wish list together here. But anyway, so we'll have Tiffany kind of talk about her little trip down to Center. We have that was the last week of the regular season and the season-ending track meet with Brighton and at the state meet in Colorado Springs. I'll mention that here and talk a bit about that. Have a little interview that Rich will splice in with Coach Marty Casey from the state track meet. But go ahead and win, Tiffany, and tell us about your weekend down in Center and how that went for you.
Yeah, so longest drive in the world, but the boys came. So the boys and girls had already sealed the league championship before the weekend started. And so the boys traveled to Center and played football. They won 47-0. I think that we were in the mercy rule, 40 points before the first half, and a running clock after that. So a lot of kids got in, like, we talked to Coach Phelan about, and it was a fun game. The weather was nice. It's warmer down there, so that was
Afternoon
nice.
game. No, it was a night game, wasn't it?
Night game, 6 o'clock. They moved it up an hour because the bus came home. They got home at like 2:30 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Excuse me. And then I ran up to Buena Vista since it's on the way home and got to see the girls play their first round against Middle Park. And that was fun. Unfortunately, Buena Vista has full service outside the gym. The minute you walk into the gym, there's not one bar of service. So we were unable to stream, or we would have done that. The girls went 3-1 on the weekend, suffered their first loss. And that was rough, but you know what? They stayed number 2 in the state, and this weekend they get to host regionals. So.
Right, and we kind of talked about last night with Coach Cravens about that tournament. They were up against 3A teams. Centauri, a 3A team, is the one who beat them. They came back after that loss and came back and finished as the consolation champs by beating another 3A team, Bennett. So they bounced back from that, and Coach was excited. Took the pressure off of the undefeated season, because now you get a defeat and your season's done. So hopefully they've got that out of their system, and it's 5-6 more wins this season here. I went to Colorado Springs, was at the state cross-country meet at Norris Penrose Stadium in Colorado Springs. It's a cool venue. They've had it there the past several years. They start in the parking lot. There's 100+ runners in each classification. They kind of come at you and then break out around the field, and the race ends up inside Penrose Stadium. The finish line is kind of into a cheering crowd, kind of a cool cool setting. Coach Brighton Bear was the only Meeker qualifier to go. Rangeley qualified, Mary Scoggins, and the complete boys team. No one made the medal to the podium, but they all had good races. And we do have a little comment from Coach Casey that
she ran really smart, good start, not too much. Really worked hard on the hills, which we've been really working on. Great work in the back stretch, finished hard. Last hill right in through was great. Great job.
after the race, I ran up to Buena Vista as well and was able to catch the majority of the game against Bennett. They looked good. Again, it was they looked tired. It had been a long day, but they fought. First game was they won 26-24, so it went an extra point there, but then they broke away and.
Yeah, I think it was 26-14 or 25-14 or 25-10. The second one.
The second one, and kind of broke them like they do. They can kind of keep up, but the Meeker girls, they're fun to watch and a lot of energy, and I'm excited for it to watch them host a regional here and hopefully get a good outcome and
yeah.
Good.
So I think now we'll break and go to Coach Casey, then Coach Cravens, and then Coach Phelan.
Okay. Hello, my name is Bobby Gutierrez. I'm here with my fellow host, Tiffany Jahoric, owner-operator of Crystal Meadow Farms, and also our guest with us today is Meeker football coach, Coach Shane Phelan. Big off season-ending, or not season-ending, playoffs starting, but a regular season-ending game against Center, down in Center. So we'll go to Tiffany and we'll have her talk about the game, and then we also will be hosting a playoff game this Saturday. So Go ahead, Tiffany.
Yeah, so we traveled to Center. It was the longest trip in the world, perhaps. And the boys came out strong, and they won 47-0. And we got everybody in the game.
I believe so.
Yeah, so it was a
Yep.
fun game. Lots of good things happened. What would you say was the number one takeaway from that game?
We think it's important to be able to go on a long road trip like that and get off the bus and perform well. That was something we talked to the guys early on in the week about. This was a long business trip, but we were going to have some fun at the end of the trip, and we got a little hung up on I-70. There was a hazmat spill, and we ended up sitting on the bus for an extra hour, and so we were a little crammed for time when we got there, but we kind of hustled and got out there, and that didn't seem to faze the kids. We came out and were able to put together a good drive right to start. They scared us a little with a halfback pass right off the bat, but
Yes.
we were able to kind of shut them down after that, and then we played well defensively, and offensively we were able to move the ball. We were effective and efficient passing the ball. So there was a lot of guys that contributed for us this week and did a really good job.
Yes, and Center was a physically pretty big team.
Yeah, they've got some really good kids down there.
They do.
They
yeah.
do, and they were really young. They have a lot of freshmen and sophomore kids that I think the future's really bright for that Center football team in the future.
Yeah, and like we talked, they've kind of gone through a rough patch this year. They're on their third head coach of the year, and that's tough.
Of the year.
Of the year, yeah.
Oh, my word.
Their first coach was, let go. The second coach got severely ill, and now they're on their third coach.
Oh, wow, that would make it tough.
Yeah,
for sure.
it would. But, they had quite a few kids on the bench. They had a fairly big team, so hopefully they'll be improving next year.
You said everyone got into play. How many is everyone? How many's on the roster?
I think we have 49 on the roster. We took everybody that was able to go. We've got a few injured kids that, and then we had a couple of kids. We didn't let them know till the week before that there was a few kids that had some other family obligations and
Oh.
younger guys that weren't able to travel with us. But we were able to get 44, 45 guys in, I bet.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and a lot of scoring. I mean, Liam Deming, Porter Hosick, Jake Blazon, Dagan Dade, and then Kelton Turner with 3, and of course, John Hampton with his PATs.
Yep.
So,
Any passing scores?
Yeah, Dagan actually
Uh-huh.
caught a pass, made a little move at about
Yeah.
the 6-yard line, and made a couple guys miss and got into the end zone. I think that's his first receiving touchdown of the year, so that was
Yeah.
nice to see him
that was
get in.
nice.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So let's look forward to this weekend. Holyoke is coming here for, well, not coming here for the 6th time, but we're playing them for the 6th time since, I believe, 2018.
Yeah, kind of a
2014, sorry.
kind of familiar opponent. We've seen him off and on. It was a couple years we met him in Denver and played, and then we had a home and home with him as well, where we went out to Holyoke, and then the next year I think they came to Meeker, and then we saw him in the playoffs a year or two ago. So they always have good physical teams, and they've got some especially good athletes this year, and they come out of that, rugged North Central League. There's a lot of good football teams over there, and they've competed well all season, and we got a tall task ahead of us.
Yeah, they have quite a few kids that have some impressive stats, but the 2 that probably stick out the most are the Sprague brothers. Maybe they're cousins, I think. I'm not quite sure what they are.
I think there's actually 4 or 5 Spragues on the team,
Yeah.
and 2 or 3 Spragues on the coaching staff.
Oh, wow.
So,
You know-
the 2 brothers, the quarterback and the receiver running back, are 2 of their top players. They're really athletic, big, strong young fellas that do a lot of things well.
Yeah, I kind of did some max prep snooping, and it looked like the quarterback was 190 pounds, so he's a big dude.
Yep. And actually, the younger brother took over the quarterbacking duties this year. The older brother, that's a senior, has been
Oh,
a
that's
quarterback
right.
for the last 3 years. In the beginning of the season, they made a swap and put the younger brother to quarterback and moved the older brother to running back receiver. They move him around in a lot of places. It's hard to get a good handle on where he's going to be because they move him all over the field and try to get him the football.
And it looked like they were kind of 50-50 in passing and rushing.
Yeah,
as much.
they're a real balanced attack. They can, the quarterback's got a good arm. He's really mobile in the pocket, so he is able to extend plays with his legs and do a lot of good things. And then the receivers do a really nice job of continuing to work and getting open while he's scrambling around back there.
So this is the first round, and you ended up as the what seed in the
6th.
6th seed, okay, and with a record of
7-2.
7-2. All right, and Holyoke comes into it with what record?
I believe they're 5-4.
5-4. Okay.
And they were number 11.
Any common opponents or?
Lyman, they played Lyman. Lyman's in that league.
Okay.
It was a pretty similar score, if I remember correctly. I don't.
We
Yeah.
won't talk about that.
Lyman
but,
got put it to both of us.
The good news there is Lyman, we wouldn't meet them until the championship. Not that we want to think that far ahead, but they are on the opposite side of the bracket.
Yes.
But we first got to beat Holyoke. So
Yep. Holyoke's
Yep.
first and foremost on our minds.
okay.
Yep. And then the one brother is also their leading tackler, but I'm so confused about which one is which one.
Oh, well, they both play linebacker. They're both really good linebackers. I would imagine they're fairly close in the number of tackles that they have, but
Yeah, they are. I think it was
They-
75 and 61.
they
So,
both do a nice job.
yeah. Well, thank you, Coach, for coming in. The game is at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Yep.
Yes, 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Weather's supposed to be
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Yep, pretty good. So
Okay.
we're excited about having the opportunity to play in front of our home fans, and hopefully we can fill the stadium. And that playoff atmosphere is always fun, no matter what. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Well, good, and we're excited for you, and wish you well, and good luck, and get after it.
All right. Well,
we'll be
thank you
there.
so much.
Yep.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming with
You
us.
bet. Thank you,
Being
guys.
with us. Although we're not in studio, for the first time we're on site, and where we're at is the Meeker High School gym on Monday night practice. Coach is taking a little time out here, kind of quiet down the kids in the background, and we're gonna talk about last week's action in Buena Vista, where Meeker lost for the first time this season. And we have, but
Had to bring
good
that one
news
up.
is, yes, good news is we're going into the regional tournament. We'll be hosting that. We'll let Tiffany give the details. So go ahead, Tiffany.
Even with the loss, the Cowboys remained number 2 in the composite rankings, which was awesome. The coaches pulled and stayed strong, so that was good. So last week you played 4 games down in Buena Vista, opening up with Middle Park, thank you.
Yeah.
Which you guys won 2-0.
Yep, yeah, the girls were, after a long trip down there, we had some excitement on Friday night. Aspen got sick on us Friday night, and we ended up having to make a change in our lineup. But the girls handled it so well, and they were so ready to play on Saturday. And, Middle Park was, they were scrappy. They just kind of kept the ball up.
Yep. That first set was close.
Yeah, but the girls were great. They just kept going and kept playing. We squatted by in there and moved Ainsley from the right side over to the left side. And the girls played awesome. So it was good to get that first win over there because we were a little nervous and we didn't know how it was going to be. But the girls played well.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we didn't have any cell phone signals, so we couldn't stream the games live. That was awful. I made it to that game, and that was fun to see the girls play. And there were some Lyman Badgers in the house that day. I'm not sure who they were there watching, but
Somewhat can we.
I know, it was cool to
Yeah.
see the girls performing the way they were in front of those people. Then we played Buena Vista, again, another win in 2 sets.
Yeah. Again, the girls went out and took care of business. We were struggling in serve receive kind of all weekend. But out of system, we'd have a bad pass, and the kids were great about getting it back in and getting it back over on the other side and create some havoc over on the other side of Buena Vista. And Buena Vista got a few blocks. I love it because Emma is very good at what she does. And if another team blocks her or just touches her, they get all excited and they're screaming and yelling. But the girls always just, okay, the next point, we'll just win the next point. It's not a big deal. So Buena Vista had a few good blocks on us. And again, the girls won in 2 sets, and it was good. It was good.
And then the game, Centauri.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, really close first set, and then that second set was not so close.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we went down to that tournament was so we'd play some bigger schools and some faster offense, and they played a faster offense than we've seen all year long. So our middles were adjusting, trying to get out to the outside to block and stuff like that. And I thought their sitter was very good. She was very good about getting the ball from one side to the other and kept us on our toes. And we didn't pass very well that match, and we didn't serve very well. But
and some of the girls were not feeling well, right?
Yeah, they want to blame it on their lunch. But again, we all just have to go out there and play. So
And admire that you stepped up and seeking out the best competition. And
exactly.
What makes you better and prepares you for what you have coming up.
And then
they lost, and then they came back and played better than they won.
another 3-8.
Yeah, so that we were just talking about that earlier in practice is that we lost that one match, and then the third place match was right away. So the kids bounced right back, got right back out on the court, and played well again. So it was great to see, and that's exactly what I wanted to see out of them. So we got what we wanted out of the
It
tournament.
might have been
That's good.
planned.
That's all
It's
you
all
need.
planned.
Yeah, that's right.
Good, okay,
We'll just
good.
say that. It's like
Yeah.
planned all of that. The sicknesses and everything.
Yeah, and
Sure,
now
crap, out
ranked
there.
number 2. Seemed like it took hours and hours for the composite ranking, and then finally the brackets to show up today that we're hosting Mancus and Sanford.
Yep. We'll
And number
host them on.
23, well, Mancus is 35 and Sanford's ranked 23.
And Coach Kindler worked really hard this afternoon, and we're playing on Friday at 2 o'clock. I haven't done my homework on those two teams yet, so that's what I'm doing tonight instead of watching football. But we'll do some homework and we'll get ready for them and be ready to go.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. And the games are Friday and at 2?
At 2, and it's Meeker Mancos first, and
Yes.
then Mancos Sanford, and followed by Meeker Sanford.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Have to win the region.
In order to go to state.
In order to
Exactly.
move on.
It's
So they
whoever
take the top
wins.
16 to state, right?
Top 12.
Top 12,
They have 12 regions and they take the top 12 from all
All right.
of us.
Yep, and so right now, I can't name all the 12 teams, but we have Sedgwick County, Meeker, Fleming,
Fowler's up
Fowler,
there.
Wiggins.
Lyman got up there. Sirocco is hosting.
Oh, that's great.
Yep, yeah. And we were hoping that West Grand would, but they had they lost to somebody this last week and they ended up like 14. So,
but they still have a chance.
Yeah. They're still in it. And they're
I saw
actually,
Rangeley's.
Rangeley made it. They were the last
they're
team
headed
in.
east somewhere.
Oh, really?
They are
They
heading
made it.
Fowler. They're going down to
Oh,
Fowler.
that's
Fowler, yeah.
awesome. I didn't hear that, so that's good for the Panthers.
Yeah, so we actually got, and so Vale Christian is, Olathe made it in, West Grand. It says good. I mean, our league was good this year. It was pretty top heavy and it was good. So it's good that we get to go and make a showing for the Western
It
Slope.
is.
Good. So, Aspen, you say she's ill. Hopefully she recovers.
Yeah, she's out
Everybody
here.
else healthy. You want to healthy. And
Yeah, she was just really dehydrated, and we had to. She needed to go to the hospital real quick and get some IVs, get some fluids in her. But she rested all day yesterday, and she'll be back for us again this week. So.
Are you
yeah.
sticking with the same roster? this
Yeah,
week?
yeah.
So we should mention too that you pulled some girls up.
Yeah, I added
Reese.
Reese and Ariel came on a few weeks ago, and then I added Natalie Kraft and that little Gracie Cravens.
Yep.
She made it on the roster also. So
Good.
yeah.
So that'll be fun.
you
13
did have
kids.
a couple step up. I made it for one of the games, a game against Bennett, and saw a couple. Grace Roberts playing. As
Yeah,
well as,
exactly.
Yeah.
help me out.
Reese and
Reese,
Okay.
yeah, Reese. And
I even put
Yeah,
Emma had hurt her knee and she was bleeding, so Natalie even got in there for
Oh,
a
good.
ball for just
Fun.
one rotation,
And-
so it was good.
And looking at this, Ainsley had 15 kills, so she for the
She
whole
did so
weekend,
well,
so it
yeah.
was awesome. And Reese had 6.
Yeah.
She was number 2, Emma had 75.
Yeah.
Right.
If you
So
want to
she
count
was-
her too. Yeah,
Emma
she
had
had
75, and I didn't look up. I'm guessing she's not pushing 500 right now.
She's 533.
Amazing.
something like
Okay,
that.
she's going to be hitting the 600s.
Yeah,
That'll
she's
be great for her.
about 60 ahead of anyone else in the state, so
Untouchable.
she may have won that one already.
Yep, so then Ainsley did Reese Potterbot, and then Savannah had 4, so that's awesome.
And one thing worth to mentioning is with Emma being so good at what she does, Tatum is actually second in the whole state with assists. So so she's way up there.
Yeah.
Also, so
Who's first?
kid from Marino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
And they're hosting too, I believe, right?
Yeah. But they're 1A, so
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole state. That's right. Yes. Okay.
so
The whole.
the whole
whole.
We need to get in touch with Tatum after. She's kind of got some of this broadcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
experience too. So,
Yeah, get her involved with this. This
get
would be
her
good.
involved in the women's
Yeah.
sport. So.
Yeah. Well, we hope your girls stay healthy.
Yes,
Get
that's
rid
what
of
we
the
talked
stomach
about
bug
this
that's
week.
flying through the school this
That's
week.
exactly right. I come in every morning and spray everything down so we all stay
Oh,
healthy.
I know. I already told my kid, you better stay away from girls.
Exactly right. Exactly right, because the girls are staying away from you.
Well, good luck,
Yep,
Coach.
good luck.
All right.
Thanks for taking time out, and we're excited. Everybody show up 2:00 Friday is the first game, and the championship game. Meeker Sanford will play at probably
Probably
4.
6 o'clock game. Yeah, so it's 2-hour increments.
Oh,
So it'll
okay.
be 2, the other game will be at 4, and then we'll play at 6.
Okay.
And
so
will you
there we
start
go.
early?
Yeah, we will start early.
Okay.
So if teams are playing back to back, they get a half hour of rest between the end of that one and then
Okay.
before we start again. So, but it's usually about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, and then we're warming up again. So.
Great.
Okay. Well, good luck. Thanks
luck.
again for
All right, thank you guys.
It's
Thank
gonna
you for
be a
doing
great
this.
Maker
We're
Cowboys
excited.
weekend.
This
All
will be
right.
fun.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
And we're back. Thank you very much for coming back and tuning in. I'm Bobby Gutierrez here with Tiffany Jahor, and we are going to let Tiffany pick our athlete. Actually, this week it's going to be athletes, student athletes of the week, and we'll let Tiffany explain why we're going to choose more than one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
Thanks, Bobby. So first of all, we're choosing Brighton Bear. She actually received Athlete of the Week. I believe it was the first week, the first
Could've
one
been.
we had when we had Coach Casey in the first time. But, you know, she set a goal and she made it. And we're super proud of her for getting that done and making it to state. Also, she ran well. I think it was one of the best races she had ran for the entire year. And then we actually have two volleyball players. You know, Aspen Merrifield was super sick this week and unable to play, and so the volleyball team had to make some rapid changes and pretty dramatic changes. They moved Ainsley from one side to the other, and they brought up freshman Reese Clatterbaugh. So those are the two girls we would like to put in as Athlete of the Week for the volleyball team. We have Reese Clatterbaugh. She actually had 6 kills over the weekend,
wow.
which is pretty good for a freshman, I
Sure.
say.
Mhm.
Tatum got her some sets, and she did really good. And then Ainsley Selly having to learn a whole new position as well, going on the other side.
And
was-
yeah, and she did good.
She
And,
did. Mm-hmm.
and Reese too. I got there late, like I say, for that consolation game, and she's a lefty.
Yeah.
And some power there. I remember we've had a couple lefties. One of them, Carrie Nilsson, was a lefty and could hammer the ball. And Reese looks like she's going to be that way too. So good watching.
And then the final one, a football player, Zach Eskelson. He is leading, well, he's number 10 in the state in tackles. He has 82 tackles, also in a brand new position. He hasn't played this position ever before. This is his first year as linebacker. He's been on the line, and he has 82 tackles, and he's doing really good.
Good deal. We just have students. We have students and Coach Straight wanting his room back, I think. So we're going to try to wrap this up here.
Yeah,
I'll let
so-
Tiffany kind of tell us what's coming up. Big weekend. Everybody get out there and support the Cowboys. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Number 2 volleyball is hosting number 35 Mancus, and number 23 Sanford. The volleyball team opens up on Friday at 2 p.m. with Mancus. The games are at 2-4. Mancus and Sanford meet, and then at 6 o'clock the Meeker plays Sanford. However, those games will go earlier if they get finished on time.
Yeah, so
earlier.
don't wait until 6 to get up there.
Right.
Try to catch the first game at
Yeah.
2.
And those will be live streamed on NFHS.
Okay.
And then Saturday, football, Starbucks Stadium, 1 p.m. The number 6 Meeker Cowboys are hosting number 11 Holyoke Dragons.
And we're also going to be trying to do some live
Mm-hmm.
cut-ins on our Coffee with Coaches Facebook page. So check that out too during the games.
Yeah.
And we're going to let Coach Straight get out of his
Get in his
classroom
room,
back.
yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Good luck, Cowboys. Go Meeker.
Yep.